I'm joined by Michael Wright of Rental Income Tax Advisors. And Michael, you and I have been having a few conversations about the impact of Section 24. Of course, everybody's talking about the impact on landlords, but you and I believe that there could be a massive knock-on impact to lettings agents, because clearly if landlords suddenly get a hit in their pocket, they may consider leaving the private rented sector. So, I think we both agree, really, don't we, that agents have got to actually start engaging with the Section 24 issue.
Yes, it's rather frightening, really, how many landlords are actually unaware of the changes, and I expect come 2017 or even come 2020, when the rules are fully implemented, it's going to take a landlord opening their tax return from their tax advisor with a shock to actually make them think, something's happened here. So really what we want to do is try and raise awareness, and really letting agents can work well with their landlord clients, and really make sure they fully understand what is happening, what can be done, and really what the best way forward is.
I think that agents can actually kind of think about creating a more holistic service so that they can be involved in the educational process and make recommendations. Obviously they're not tax advisors, but they can give some general indicators or refer landlords to specialist people such as yourself. But there's also the issue that I don't think lettings agents are aware of how they're going to be impacted by this. And I think part of what we want to try and do at Property Tribes is to make sure that agents engage with this topic, because they're, to put it bluntly, their livelihood could be affected.
Yes, I think that's absolutely correct. I think letting agents have to have a greater understanding of the changes, so they can convey that message onto their landlord clients, and really raise that awareness, and
Because if a landlord comes to them and says, I'm selling up, then by then it's probably too late. Whereas if they preempted it with some landlord education, perhaps running a landlord evening with somebody like yourself, a tax advisor, coming to speak to their landlord clients, they can actually help much earlier in the process to make sure landlords are prepared for the implementation of Section 24.
Yes. Well, an individual will often need individual tax advice, but when you're talking en masse, as far as a letting agent dealing with their whole portfolio of landlord clients, then there can be opportunities to provide general guidance to them. So whilst it's not specific to an individual landlord circumstance, it will at least alert them to what's going to happen and what can be done in a more general way.
Yeah, I think obviously there is that sort of balancing issue for agents as well, because I'm sure, and if I put myself in the agent's shoes, there might be a kind of sense of, well, actually I don't want to scare my landlords, but I think that might be a short-term way to think about it, but actually long-term, we are, as a community, going to have to create awareness of this issue. And I know you would agree with me that agents should also really get behind the judicial review of Section 24 as well, and contribute their input to it, because we are all affected.
Yes. I think, as you said, I think there is a lot of negativity surrounding it. So I think it's conveying the message of highlighting what the changes are, negative as they are, but then twist it round to show what positives can be gathered from it. There are some landlords that we've spoken to who are going to be affected by it, and although it's not an as good investment property, it's still a good investment. It's just not as good as it used to be. But yeah, it does very much depend on circumstances.
It does, and I think there is a lot of uncertainty. We've got obviously the Brexit issue, we've got Section 24, we've got the wear and tear allowance, and I think when there's uncertainty, and lack of knowledge, it can actually make the fear worse, because people start sort of adding their own layers of anxiety to it. So again, I think this is why education is so important, and I think, you know, we want to encourage lettings agents to engage with this topic, inform themselves, and then think about ways of disseminating that information to their landlords.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me. And if you've got any questions, you're a letting agent, do drop them underneath this video. And, you know, Mike will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And one of the things that you might like to do is to refer your landlord clients to a tax advisor like Michael as part of the service that you offer your landlords to make sure that they're ready for Section 24, which kicks in April next year.